Good morning. So today I'm going to be talking about three kinds of laziness. So I was reminded of this by Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche, a book called The Heart of Compassion. The Heart of Compassion. It's a very good book which is on the practices of the Bodhisattva. And he talks specifically about these three types of laziness. It's interesting to contemplate why it is that we don't follow through with our intentions, why often we are lazy. I think I've got lazier as I've got older, unfortunately. Anyway, the first kind of laziness is the laziness that wants comfort and ease. So we want an easy life, basically. We don't want to have to put in an effort. And I think we're always looking for ways to make life soft, easy. And we do lead very easy lives nowadays. But, well, in this country anyway, in Great Britain and in a lot of other countries as well. So this is the laziness that perhaps makes us sleep too much. How much sleep do we need? I don't know the answer to that really, and it's probably different for all of us. But often we can feel sleepy. Sometimes I feel sleepy when I'm going to meditate or when I start meditation, and I think, oh, well, maybe I'm really tired. And then as soon as I stop meditating, I'm not tired at all. I've got energy for other things. There's just kind of noticing then that there's a resistance of some sort. And idleness comes under this one as well, this one for wanting comfort. We just kind of fritter away our time and perhaps lack purpose. So all the time we're wanting immediate satisfaction. And of course, we're led to believe that we can have immediate satisfaction. I think an interesting one relating to this is how we're persuaded to take out loans or to put off paying for something. You can have it now, you don't have to wait, have it now. And, you can just be as happy as you want, having everything you want. Well, actually, it often leads to a lot of suffering because maybe we're persuaded to buy things that we can't afford. Or if we have them now, they don't mean as much as if we actually waited till we got the money to buy it. I know that's probably a very old-fashioned view nowadays, but I think there's a lot of truth in it. So what do we do about that? What do we do about this form of laziness, which just is always seeking comfort? Well, one thing we can do is go on retreat, or go on a solitary retreat. Or even other retreats where we don't have everything we want immediately. Maybe things aren't quite as we want them. Or maybe we get on retreat and we find that a solitary retreat and we find that we've left behind the very thing that we wanted. That's often happened to me. And I realised that there's no reality in it. I'll suddenly want some food and think, why didn't I bring that? Why didn't I take that with me? Because I'm not going to have it for 3 or 4 weeks. But actually, I don't really need it. It's just like a form of laziness, just wanting something that I can't have right at that moment. So Dilgo Khyentse says that the antidote to this is reflecting on impermanence and particularly on death. That life is short. Can we afford to be lazy? And laziness, the opposite to laziness is not being busy. So that's really important to say. It's not about being busy and fitting in more into our life, but it's about knowing what is valuable and spending our time with that. So, if you happen to be a Buddhist practitioner, just questioning the amount of time that we do actually spend on reflecting on the Dharma, on meditation, on contemplating the truth of reality. What time do we give to that? And what time do we give to frittering away on useless things, our time? So that's the first one. That's the first form of laziness. And the second form is what he calls faint-heartedness. And this, I think, is really about a lack of confidence. It's a bit like we're discouraged even before we start. It's a bit like our expectations are very low of ourselves, and we don't have the confidence to see something through. So, a lot of what I say at meditation classes, particularly on courses, is, don't think that everybody else is having a great time and that they all know how to meditate and you don't, just because the room is still and actually all you want to do is to move about. You're feeling quite what's the word? Can't think of it at the moment. But anyway, you just want to jump up and do something else. And you have views about what other people are experiencing. So it's a sort of faint-heartedness in the way of fearlessness as well. We need to develop the fearlessness that thinks anything is possible, enlightenment is possible. And we need to commit. We need to commit and say, okay, I'm going to try this way. I'm going to try, let's say it's meditation. I'm going to really put my heart and soul into this for a limited time, because, what doesn't work for us, we're not going to keep on doing it. But give it a good try, have faith and confidence in yourself. Everyone can meditate. And as I often say, meditation is not about having an empty mind. So, yes, Dilgo Khyentse recommends as an antidote to reflect on enlightenment as a possibility, as a definite possibility for you, for me, for everyone. And possible even in one lifetime if we really set our mind to it. But if not in this lifetime, certainly in the future, if we wake ourselves up, if we practice, make energy a practice, that word virya, energy in pursuit of the good, energy in what really matters, putting energy into ending our suffering through applying ourselves in some way, in many ways. So that's the second one. And then the third one is neglecting our priorities and our intentions. So we do know what's good for us underneath. I know we do. We know it. And how often do we turn our back on it? How often do we not see things through? Because of laziness, because of this kind of laziness. So we drift into habits. We form habits all through our life. And those deepest habits are very hard to shift. Once we have made that groove of habitual response, habitual behaviours, it's very hard to change them. They can change, but it takes a lot of energy, a lot of willpower, a lot of self-discipline, actually. Can't avoid that word. It does require self-discipline. So, yes, knowing what our habits are, admitting that to ourselves, that takes, the opposite of laziness, to really acknowledge that we have got these habits that don't do us any good. So, yeah, at the moment, one I'm working with is eating. So I'm trying to lose some weight. I walk with crutches. I need to stay light. And that means a lot of discipline, because I need to stay below 8 stone if I'm going to be able to manoeuvre myself around, get out of chairs and so on. I permanently walk with crutches. I need to be light. And I know that. And I know things get difficult for me if I'm over 8 stone, but it's really difficult. I get lazy. I get wanting things that aren't any good for me. And that's quite difficult. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? But we've all got those things, and often we don't talk about them. We keep them hidden so that we can just get on with our habitual responses and nobody's going to know, and it won't matter too much, really, will it? So it's not easy to change our habits. So this one, neglecting our priorities as a form of laziness, the antidote, Dilgo Khyentse says, is to reflect on dukkha, on suffering. So that is very good. I know that I'm causing myself suffering if I'm struggling to get out of a chair. If I'm finding it difficult walking. So yeah, I'm trying at the moment to do things in my life that work against that kind of laziness. So one of the things I'm doing is I'm trying to have more walking. Of course, we can't go out at the moment, so luckily I've got a long haul, and I'm just having, well, it's 330 steps at once, to get my heart pumping and so on. So yeah, I'm remembering to do that every day. Why I chose 330 is because before it got snowy, I was walking round to the school round the corner, and that I measured was 330 steps there and back. And that felt like a good distance, without causing more damage to the nerves that have started deteriorating under my arms. So there we are. There's 3 forms of laziness that we can contemplate on. So that's all for today. And that was Tashi joining in at the end. So see you soon. Bye.